What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping in to check out another video. This is where I like to take a second to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for future uploads, like and comment on this video. All right, next up on the turntable, we have a Hot Wheels 83 Chevy Silverado. As you guys can see, this is a art car casting. And most of you know how I feel about these art cars. But that being said, these art cars to me make perfect custom donors. I've got a few of these now, which is why I've decided to go ahead and do a custom on one. This is one of my favorite castings, and also have this particular one already in my collection. So that's what we're here for. We're going to do a custom on this bad boy, see if we can make a nice little Chevy. And as usual, I do have this one drilled apart, so hang tight for 1 second. I'll get it pulled apart. You guys can check it out real quick, see what we're working with. All right, guys, and here you have it, your typical stuff. You got your die-cast body here, your plastic windshield, plastic interior, as well as your plastic chassis and wheels. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and throw this bad boy into the stripper, and next up you'll see it with all its glorious paint removed. That way I can show you guys the casting lines that we'll have to take care of on this particular casting. Obviously the windshield's brand new, won't be doing anything to that. It's kind of sad that it's a yellow windshield. I personally hate doing customs when it involves a colored windshield. In my opinion, it makes the color of the final custom what am I trying to say here? Basically, it makes it kind of hard to decide on what color that it's going to end up being, because not everything is going to look right with that yellow windshield. So it's a little challenging in my opinion. But I guess that's what it's all about, is challenging yourself and seeing what you can come up with. So again, it's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll have to work with it and see what we can do. Interior, probably not going to do anything to that. It'll probably end up just being black. I do have a color in mind for this one already, and I will share that with you guys along the way once we get to that point in the video. Obviously, we will be putting a new set of wheels on this, some rubber wheels. And then, as usual, just got a couple of button head screws over here that we're going to be replacing with the where the rivets were originally at. We've got that tapped out already, and I'm going to try to keep this one short and sweet, guys. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail about what I use and how I do it, like I've done with some of my last videos. I try to do that from time to time, just in case anybody new is checking out one of my videos, just to be as helpful and instructional as possible. But, if you are new to the channel, this is one of your first videos you're watching and you're trying to figure out how to do all this stuff, you can check out one of my previous videos, and there's tons of other guys doing it, and they go through, everything in full depth. So check those out. And other than that, guys, it's going to be pretty much it for now. I'll get it stripped down, let you guys see what it looks like with the paint removed, like I said, show you where the casting lines are, and we'll go from there. All right, you can see we now have the paint stripped off of it, and I've gone ahead and added the new wheels to it. Those are looking pretty sharp. So next up, just going to show you guys really quickly where the casting lines are on this one. It's got a little bit of roughness right across the front grill right here. We'll have to clean up. Nothing major. All in all, this casting is in really good shape. It's not going to take me but just a few minutes to get this cleaned up. Actually pretty happy about that. the majority of the casting lines are running right across the back fender. It's kind of hard to see there. Like I said, they're really not that bad. You can see there's a little bit of a rough spot right here. We'll have to sand that out, but again, it's not going to take much. I think you can see it a little bit better on this side here. You got your casting line running right down there. Again, they always do a pretty good job of hiding them for the most part. You know, it blends right in to the end of that tail light right here, so not going to take much. Other than that, I don't really see a whole lot to it as far as the casting line, so just going to get those sanded out really quickly, and then I'm going to go over it with the steel wool just to kind of clean it up a little bit. They don't really look too bad, but I'll make sure that the window frames are nice and cleaned up so that looks good when it's done. And then other than that, really there's a little bit of roughness across the top of the bed here, but again, it's not much, so it's not going to take a whole lot to get it done. I probably won't spend more than 10 minutes getting this piece sanded out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. A little bit of roughness on the back of the tailgate right there. Put a little bit of time into that. Again, not much, but we'll get it cleaned up, and I'll show you guys what it looks like once I've sanded it all down and hit it with the steel wool. All right, guys, so here we are after I've gone over it with the steel wool, and you can see this is pretty much what it looks like. Just kind of cleans it up really well. And I was going to pretty much be done with it at that point, but I've decided to go ahead and start sanding it some more. You can see it's got, it's got its normal casting marks, the little pits in it throughout the body. And usually once you hit it with the steel wool, those show up a lot more. So after I did the steel wool, I've decided we're just going to go ahead and really give this thing a pretty good sanding. And you can see I've already done the hood and the roof of the truck so far with a 120 grit. And I've also started a little bit on this side of the truck. Still got a little bit to go. You can still see it's still got a pretty good little bit of pitting going on here and there. But I just started this side, so in the middle of it right now, and kind of forgot to show you guys what it looked like, so wanted to show you this side before I got it sanded down too far. And I'm going to go ahead and finish sanding it with the 120 grit, then move to I believe I've got a 220 and then a 320 and then a 600 grit and a 1000 grit and then a 2000 grit, because I haven't completely decided on the paint yet. I've narrowed it down to two different choices. I think what I'm going to do is go with this metal cast, this blue chrome looking anodized metal cast paint. And in order to achieve what I really am looking for out of that paint, I've got to get this thing sanded down really smooth, get rid of as much of the pitting as I can so that I can polish the truck and make this paint look really well. This paint for me is the metal cast is pretty challenging paint to use. You've got to put it on very, very lightly, and it's just, in my opinion, it's really easy to get runs and build up in certain areas. So, like I said, I'm going to sand it down as smooth as I can, polish it up, and I'm going to attempt this metal cast. I've used it before on some other castings. Sometimes I have pretty good luck with it. Sometimes, I've got to strip it down and redo it again. So I'm going to try it out, maybe try to give it, if need be, I'll strip it down and do it 2 or 3 times and see where I end up. But at some point, if I'm just not happy with it and it's just not working out for me, I'm going to switch over to this metallic acrylic paint, this blue sapphire. It's a beautiful paint. I've used it before, and I know I won't have any problems with it, but hopefully I'll be able to get this Duplicolor metal cast on it, and hopefully that's what we'll be showing you guys in the end. But again, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Either way, I'm sure whatever paint I end up finishing it off with, I'll be pretty happy with it. They're both pretty close in color. It's definitely the color that I wanted for this truck because of that particular yellow windshield. I think it'll look pretty good with it. So we'll see what we end up with, guys. Stick around. And here she is, guys. 83 Chevy Silverado, all finished up. And you guys can see, well, I was successful with the metal cast paint on the second attempt. At least successful enough in my opinion to be really happy with the final outcome of it. You may or not be able to tell. I mean, it's not, nothing major. I mean, I'm my own worst critic, and if I'm not happy with it, I don't put it out. I redo it. So I don't know, there's a little bit of shading, if you will. I don't know if that's what you want to call it or not, but there's a couple areas that appear to be a little bit darker than some others, but again, it's not very much, only a few little spots. But I don't think that has anything to do with the paint itself. I think it's just what the typical cause is, and that's user error. Again, I don't think it was the paint. I think it was some issues with when I was polishing it. I don't know if I just didn't maybe get it clean enough in certain areas, but you're really not picking it up on camera. I mean, you really got to be looking at it pretty hard to actually see what I'm even talking about. So either way, enough of that. Like I said, I'm really happy with the outcome of it. I think it turned out fantastic, and I was glad I could finally, on the second attempt, get that metal cast to work just right for me, because that's ultimately what I wanted to do with this custom. I spent a lot of time sanding it down, going through all the different grits and polishing it and all that good stuff. And I mean, any of you guys that have done that before, that takes quite a bit of work. I mean, I've probably put about 4 hours into the sanding and polishing process to get that metal nice and shiny, so it'll give that nice shining appearance through that paint, because that's what this paint is made for. It's an anodized looked, not quite a spectra flame or anything like that, but it is absolutely beautiful paint. I love working with it, even though it's a headache and it gives me a pain most of the time. I don't think I've ever did a custom and got it right on the first try, but that's what it's all about, just having fun with it. And I absolutely did in this case. I'm inside right now, obviously, so it's doesn't shine quite as nice as it does outside in the sunlight, but you can see a pretty good reflection coming off of that thing. In my opinion, this paint is more like a candy paint, and again, it's a lot more obvious outside in the sunlight. So maybe towards the end of the video, when you hear me sign off in my usual way, stick around for just a second or two, and maybe I'll throw up some pictures of it so you guys can see what it really shines like outside in the sunlight. But anyway, it's the blue metal cast paint, and there's really not a whole lot to it other than the paint job and the new wheels itself. I mean, I wanted this thing to just be nice, clean, and simple, and I think that's what I've accomplished here. I mean, other than the taillights and the headlights, which I didn't detail the headlights, I just left them chrome. But other than that, there really wasn't much to detail on this truck. It wasn't, a whole lot that really could be done as far as detailing or anything like that. So anyway, like I said, just left it nice, clean, and simple. And you can see I did detail the brake lights, obviously, put a new set of rubber wheels on it, and this is what it looks like, guys. This is the final finished product, and very happy with it. I do have another Chevy Silverado, as well as another 55 Bel Air gassing in the works. And you guys are probably getting tired of seeing these. Maybe, maybe not. You know, I know there was a while there I was on a kick where I was doing a lot of Mustangs and Fox bodies, so maybe this is a good little change for you guys. But either way, you know, I'm sure you guys will enjoy it anyway. So be on the lookout for another Bel Air gasser and another 83 Chevy Silverado custom. And as usual, you know, I'll get those videos out for you guys so you can check them out. I think those are both going to end up be featured on a show and tell Saturdays video, because I am not doing videos on those two. I've already got them started. They're primed, underway. I actually got them both right here. You can see I've got them primed in black because they will both be getting a metallic paint job. There's the Chevy. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed another one. I surely appreciate each and every one of you stopping in to check out another custom of mine. And as always, I will catch you on the next one. Peace.